Big time combos about issues facing singles today. It's the TBD podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of TBD, To Be Determined podcast. I'm Brian. This is Shannon. Isaiah over here looking like Christmas. Huh? Festive.
Trying to get the...
Okay.
Shannon, you just came back from
See
a funeral?
what I'm saying? Like...
Shannon, I'm just saying, I'm sorry for your loss. Looking like Wednesday from the Monsters family.
I need your shirt to be 2 sizes bigger.
Woo!
She had that. Ooh.
I tell you what, though, he do look like a young black Kris Kringle up in here. You hear me? Where's your bag of gifts, sir? I like it, man.
For the right lady, she get them all.
Woo! Talk to me now.
Get the bag.
All right. Anyway,
Come on, Wednesday.
So hey, listen, we have a great episode for you today. It's the holiday survival guide, and we're gonna break down everything you need to know as a single going into Christmas, the holidays, New Year's, and so that'll be a lot of fun. We'll jump into a quick icebreaker as well. But before we do, let me go ahead and just give you some information. If you have any comments, any questions, any thoughts about this episode, if you're watching on YouTube, put it in the comment section down below. You can also drop us a DM on IG. You can also message us on Facebook. We also have a email, tbdjax@gmail.com. And the Google phone number, we decided that thing was
I
still...
think it's done.
Well, try it anyway.
Try
okay.
it anyway.
904
Oh, is
513.
have you checked?
How they don't get in contact with you then?
See, I told y'all. The phone
Mr.
don't work.
Right
I told you what to do. You can always email.
No, don't tell them. Go back into the episodes
Oh, there you go.
and find it. If you watch it, you already know. And if you don't know, go back and watch 4 or 5 episodes back. But the phone number, just try it out. 904-513-8597. All right, guys, we're going to get into a very quick icebreaker. Okay. And it's one question. Flip a coin on who goes first.
I go first.
Name a holiday tradition that you've either experienced that you want to continue or something that you want to start when you actually start your new family.
Okay, this is what I always wanted to do. Christmas Eve night, I wanted everybody to open one present, like the white people do on TV. That's what I always wanted. Just that moment where we sit down and somebody tell us the Christmas story and somebody have the name on the gift, boom. But the way I grew up, Christmas morning, you wake up dirt early, you got a pile of presents, you just rip through it. And you play with your toys until some of them break. Then you get hungry or you have breakfast. I'm like, but if I'm going to do it again, we're on Christmas Eve, we're going to gather around, take a moment.
Okay.
Why you have such a look of disgust on your face, Shannon?
First of all, I just want to point out that Isaiah's covering his ankles today.
You've bullied him into covering his ankle. Are you happy? You feel good about yourself?
I do.
Hey, if you want to see my ankles, go to my OnlyFans
So
page.
you do know about OnlyFans.
Oh.
Well, if they want,
What?
why give them milk out for free when you can buy the cow?
Honeys and cows and milk.
You can rent the cow. That's renting the cow. That's not buying
You
it.
can lease the cow.
Gross.
For how much, Isaiah?
$4.99 a month.
They can get a subscription. Go ahead, Shannon.
All right. Christmas tradition. We're 8 minutes in already.
Okay, sorry. You know, the thing that I love is reading the Christmas story on Christmas morning. And I always want to do the pigs in a blanket, little smokies that Mom always does, because Daddy always reads the Christmas story. And then I always want to be able to have people over who don't have anywhere to go, because there was one Christmas where I was in Tampa by myself, and I had to make my own like dinner, and so I just made like kind of like some fake turkey and like little thing or whatever, and I was like, I'll never let anybody do this on their own, like do a holiday alone.
So we having Christmas at your house?
Yeah, I will love it. Yeah, we're doing it this year though. My dad's already got the smoked turkey and everything in the freezer.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I'm inviting myself.
I need y'all to help me with the patio.
I'm out. Okay.
Maybe busy that entire week.
Ew.
We'll have to find out. Okay, guys. So the holidays are upon us. Okay, we're in the midst of it. Thanksgiving's in the rear view, and we got Christmas and we have New Year's on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a single person, these can be very lonely times. These can be very lonely times. And so, I have, my first question is this. As a person who is single, whether they have family and friends in the area, like what do you think, or what's some advice or something that you've learned in your journey in dealing with all the emotions of not having a partner or somebody that is a girlfriend or a boyfriend around during this time period? What's something that you could share that you've learned to cope with that and not be depressed or sad?
Well, from my experience, some things you just gotta eat. If you lonely, you try to do something to compensate for that loneliness, you'll make it worse. So if I'm lonely, sometimes I just need to be lonely. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. But you know what? The alternative is getting myself in something to cope with the discomfort or pain that gets me in worse trouble. And two, I got amazing friends. Just this last Thanksgiving, I have a family I eat with, but I got time to spend with friends, chill with them. We laugh, we have fun. And that kind of eased the discomfort of not having a significant other.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. And it's harder, like in this, because, and really quick, I'm not going to go into all the things, but in prosperous nations, one person households are more and more common because you have the ability to live on your own. You can take that risk because the social structures are there. But it also lends to that aloneness during special occasions. So for me, what I have learned to do is think ahead. If none of our friends are putting anything together, I try to put something together, just so that, I'm not sitting in the house, sitting on the sofa, just thinking about like what I don't have, but it reminds me of what I do have. Like, and, even if I don't have a lot of money, I have friends, and I can, like mom and I just came back from, a vacation, and that was something else that I'm just like, I need to remember that I have family. So just being, cognizant of the blessings that I do have and the relationships that I do have helps me get through, not having a spouse, which is something that I want,
Sure.
Somebody told me relationships are like screen doors and flies.
Yep.
Because you got flies trying to get in, flies trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to be the fly that just enjoying the poop you're sitting on.
I feel like it's married people who say that, and I'm just like, if you are so trying to get out, then get out, because you can. If it's just so bad, then go ahead and get out. It's not that bad. They tell us that to make us feel better, but it's not true. They would not trade a spouse. They would not trade a child to be sitting there trying to figure out what to do during the holidays. They wouldn't do it. So when I hear married people say stuff like that, I'm just like, chap,
Cap,
boo,
cap.
You don't mean it. You don't mean it.
You sound like you ready for somebody slipping. I take them. I take them.
I'm not sure I quite understand that whole screen door fly reference. Like, I know flies try to get in, hence the screen door.
But you have flies on the inside of the house trying to get out.
Seems, I'm going to be real with you. I get it. I'm sure it works in conversation. That's a terrible, I don't even.
They're full of it. They're full of it, Brian.
I just don't like it, even if they were being honest. I'd be like, that's a terrible way to describe. Like, what are you talking about? Screen door, flies, relationship, in my opinion. Okay.
That's all we have.
No, okay. Y'all remember that song by Field Mob? It was, I'm so sick of being lonely.
Oh, yeah.
Every night when my man goes out with his homies.
I don't know that song.
Yeah,
you were super saved by then. That's right. That's right. I
still don't like good music.
You don't like 90s R&B. you can't talk to me. Please.
you like early 2000s hip hop?
Not
Yeah,
really.
it was early 2000s.
Yeah,
Look at Isaiah.
I
you know
rest
what I
my
like?
case.
You know what I like? I like the stuff like what Jay-Z did, and what's the oh, why do I feel it must be the money, like that
Nelly.
genre right there. Yeah, like I like that right there, like them, Jay-Z, Beyonce, early 2000s. I like
would
them.
like a sophisticated rap. I like some Dirty South.
Dirty South. I used to play ball in the YMCA. Okay, I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, I think I'm done too. I don't know. She might be doing something.
That's Wyclef. Okay, anyway.
Okay, so.
Brian, but what about you? What is your tradition that you would want?
Oh, you jumping back to the icebreaker.
Yeah, I
Well,
am.
I've said this plenty of times, man. The morning of, we'll go to one of those homeless food shelter or the soup kitchen type deals, and get that in before we, read out of the Bible and then open up presents. That was a very impactful. It only happened one time in my childhood, but I definitely enjoyed that, and so I definitely will implement that.
That couldn't happen in my family growing up, because only reason my people will do that, so when we get home we won't complain about our toys. So like, man,
This chestnut checkers, boy.
I know, they're like,
I like it.
I don't want this, bro. I don't want this generic G.I. Joe. The people we just left don't got no G.I. Joes.
G.I. bro.
Yeah.
So listen, we got into some heavy stuff, but I want to go into, something a bit lighter. Unless you guys have something else on loneliness and dealing with that. The singles survival guide, okay? There's more to that than just dealing with loneliness. You're going to be hanging around friends, family, co-workers. You may be going to different Christmas parties, and there's going to be a litany of questions that will be coming your way, and there's a bit of decisions that you'll have to make on the fly, okay? So let's start at some easy ones, and you guys bring up whatever else that you may have heard or had to go through that you think will be beneficial for our listeners to hear. First and foremost, when your family or friends are like, hey, you seen anybody? That's a tough one, isn't it? You've heard that, right?
It's
I mean,
not
not
tough
for me. I'm like, no.
You
I
ain't seen anybody steal?
I'm like, you got somebody for me?
I tell people, are you praying for me?
That
That's-
would-
I,
shit,
sure-
that
I
would be-
sure do. I shame them spiritually. That's what I do.
They shut right up. They move
Yeah,
along. They
'cause
like,
know
nah.
they're not.
Nope. All right. Okay. All
They
right.
probably say, I see why you don't got nobody.
And somebody has sent me that before, and I'm just like, I won't even go into it because I'll expose who it
Shannon,
was.
this is the place for that.
They're not listening.
The show.
You know
like,
what? That's true.
Say their last name too.
Get
I
it off
can't.
your-
It's family. I can't.
Get it off your shoulders.
Shut up.
Oh, you want to move to the next
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, I
Okay,
do.
I thought you were about to break it down. Something that you guys were energetic to touch on, especially when you start talking about work-related Christmas parties, potlucks, huh? Wholesome foods that are hot, but you have no idea really how they were prepared, even if they look good. What is your advice that you may have been taught or that you have garnered over a lifetime about potlucks?
Oh, man. What I learned early in working an adult job, my first 9 to 5 office job, I think it was like a Christmas party. And it was like this dish. I was eating it, tearing it up because, I love free food. And she was saying, oh, me and Sandy, we just had a time making this. She was such a great help. She, ooh. I'm like, I'm like, as I'm eating her dish, I'm like, so how old is your little girl? Is it a girl? And she was like, no, that's my cat, silly.
Ooh,
I'm
cat
like,
licked up on that. Cat licked up on that.
I'm like,
She's looking at the spoon.
You know Sandy intimately. Don't you worry about it, sir.
I'm like,
You have kissed Sandy in the mouth.
I'm like, what?
Dead in the mouth.
I'm like, it's my first. I didn't grow up in a multicultural environment, but I'm like, you let your cat in the house, in the kitchen? I'm like, what?
On the counter.
I'm like, what? That
Near the
baffles me.
ingredients.
So my rule is, you got to be a clean person, or the food got to be bought. Got to be still in the wrapper.
Without the seal broken.
Without the seal broken. I'm talking about catered. You brought it in a dish from Publix. You gotta be super clean. I eat from Shannon because she what my people call nice nasty. She's so nice and neat. It's ridiculous.
I want to wash my hands after everything. I don't eat you see people on TV. They lick the spoons after they stir something. They put it back in the bowl.
No, I ain't seen that one on TV.
Yeah,
like in a TV show.
Rachel Ray is good for that. And you know how I mess with Andy about not washing his poultry. And he's like, why would you wash poultry? And then he sent me some article, some chef wrote, like, you shouldn't wash it because you'll get salmonella all over the sink. I was like, well,
Clean the sink.
Right.
Clean the sink.
Come on, somebody.
Yo, wow.
Like,
keep the salmonella on the chicken, okay? Because we want to keep the sink clean. Boy, you crazy.
But when you clean the greens, you need to salt the greens and wash them several times, like all of that, because it's just like
rinse your rice.
Yes, yes, exactly.
You nasty buzzards.
When I first started, invite me around. You don't have to give me a side eye a couple times. Cause you're like, oh, you talking with your hands too much. Can you please sanitize your hands?
No, Isaiah used to like to try to put his hand in the bag. Like if we had tortilla chips.
No pour. Only dip.
Yeah, only dip his whole hand in the bag. Like Isaiah, pour that into a napkin. I don't know if you remember doing that.
I remember all the shit. Haven't I changed?
You see the Holy Spirit.
No,
you have transformed your mind.
But now I go to some places trying to pour. They be like, "What you doing?"
Yeah, because they're like, oh, getting the whole handful.
So
out.
I gotta know what kind of environments I'm in. I'm in a pour grab situation.
So you guys aren't doing potlucks really. Like you have some caveats, Isaiah, Shannon. It sound like you go up there and shake hands and be like, I make more money than all y'all anyway. You know what I mean? I don't need to eat your little food from home. I'm good. I'll buy something for myself when I go home.
First of all, I will donate. And second of all, I do ask who made it. I'm not gonna lie. When I used to work in the office, that was one of the questions. I did look for the packaged food. I tried to get there first, so I'd be the first one.
It's clutch.
Because one of my little friends, my work friends, he told me, because there was a nice man. He was a veteran. But he would always be hanging around the holiday tables. He was wonderful. He was, high level, whatever. And my friend was like, Shannon, do not, if you see him near the table, don't eat what he's eating because he'll go right in the bathroom, use the bathroom, and walk right out. He will not wash his hands. Yeah. And I'm like, that's a travesty for a man not to wash his hands because we all know what happens when men go to the bathroom. I'm just going to throw that out there. And let me tell you what I saw very soon after he told me that. I went, there's just, some little party thing that was happening. I watched the nice man walk into the break room, look around at the spread, and he was like, oh, hey, Shannon, how you doing? He picked up a cookie. He smelled it. He put that junk right back down and went to something else. I was like,
I never get the first cookie.
Good.
Listen,
I get the fifth cookie.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Under with a napkin. Like,
ain't no way I can describe some characteristics of this person already. I know what characteristics I cannot place on this person. I'm going to leave it right there. Ain't no way, dog. Ain't no way.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, I know he did not.
It's crazy. No. I had to, go, I get, annual checkups, or not even annual, but, checkups. It was just that time to get something this week. And before I went and checked in, I went to go use the bathroom. Don't you know?
You better not.
And we at the hospital. Granted, not in like the ER. We in the hospital.
Ew.
I'm thinking,
ew.
bro. That's why you in here.
Ew.
That's why you in here. Right there. Come on, dog. Nothing? You ain't even do like a quick thing just to make it
look like a splash.
Yeah, like get some moisture on your hand. You know what I'm saying?
At least do the hand sanitizer.
At least, just be polite.
Something.
I be polite with the water sometimes.
Oh,
I don't want
that's why you don't need to have your hand in the tortilla chip bag.
I don't want to have wet hands, walking around with wet hands. So the ceremonial washing of hands. I'm not above that.
They have paper towels.
But yeah,
he said he
I don't want to know no
protecting
more.
the earth.
I will if I'm into a young lady.
Biodegradable paper towel.
If I'm into a young lady, I eat everything she fixed. I don't care if she made it with her feet. I'm like, you know what?
Ooh. Oh, Jesus.
That
Jesus,
makes one of us.
Jesus,
So, I mean, does that make,
Jesus,
I don't know, does it make
Jesus.
two of us?
Jesus.
Be a shield. No, it's nasty. And I'm going to tell you something. The last person that I was seeing, this is something, because I was like, oh, he's super neat, super clean, all that, right? No. He'd go and make a salmon, whatever, and then take the rag, not only wipe over here, but then wipe over here where the salmon was, then wipe over there. I'm like, oh, no. I am so sorry. I'm going to tell you, I went to buy scrub brushes. Yes, I spent my own money because I was like, if I'm eating from you, you need to understand that is not okay. And then I got these claws that are non-bacterial, antibacterial, whatever, antimicrobial or whatever. And I also was like, you need to throw away them sponges because it's okay if you have sponges, but if you're going to use sponges long term, you need to put them junks in the microwave to get rid of all that bacteria that's sitting up in all those little crevices.
Well, Shannon, have you ever got sick from sponge bacteria?
You know why? No. You want to know why? Because I put the sponges in the microwave. First of all, I don't use sponges. Second of all, I use brushes. Third of all, yuck. I don't even know.
It's a lot of stuff happening right there, guys. But let me get your final word on just the holidays for single people, and you can touch on anything you want to. You can double down on not doing potlucks. You can give some encouraging words about loneliness, or you can, hop on to something else. But whatever you do, make it quick. Make it quick.
I stay prayed up. So if I'm eating from your house, I like you. I'm trying to marry you. If I'm eating from your house and I don't care who cooked it or which people look like, I mean, I'm trying to wife you.
Mm.
But if I'm like, I ate before I got there, we are good friends.
Maybe.
We are really good friends.
Maybe.
And but you can be overboard because I got a sadistic friend that won't even. She will microwave your sponges for you. Put it like that.
I surely will.
Final word, Shannon.
No potlucks, and God sets a lonely in families, so there's no need to be alone. Like, have a game plan for what you're going to do for the holidays because there's no need for you to be alone.
Jesus already set my game plan in action before I even came on the earth. I'm just trying to walk in it.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's I would usually say, you know what, we need to come back to that topic. I don't think so. I think you guys covered it pretty well. So let's just go over a couple things before we wrap up the show. If you want to leave a comment, drop one in the YouTube comment section right now. Thank you for watching, by the way. If you have a thought for the show, a concern, a question, you just want to big up Shannon or Isaiah, by all means, you can do it in YouTube comments as well. You can DM us on IG. You can message us on Facebook. You can send us an email at tbdjax@gmail.com. And you can potentially send us a voicemail, 904-513-8597. So.
And don't forget, if you ever want to see the other shoulder exposed on Shannon, please let her know.
With that being said,
And if you want to
it was too late. It was too late. Do it the next show. It was too late. You let it pause. We got you on the last one.
Thank you.
You'll get it back on the next episode. All right. But with that being said, that's it for this episode of TBDJAX. So for Isaiah, Shannon, I'm Brian. We'll holler at you next episode.
Deuces.
She stole that from me.
Do it.
She stole that from me. Stop.